Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I'm going to talk about San Jose rapper Cutty Banks. Cutty will be born on January 9th, 1990. He will grow up in San Jose on the east side of the city. He would come up in Foxdale Village apartments and see a lot growing up, from murders, drug dealing, and everything the streets offered. With Cutty Banks being Samoan, many of the Foxdale residents were of Polynesian descent. Many of the older guys in the neighborhood would be Crips, and the Samoans in that area would claim SOS, which stands for Sons of Samoa. SOS is a Crip gang that started in Long Beach by Samoans and later spread to other places in California like Sacramento and San Jose among others, and later other states. With Cutty Banks' family and friends being involved in the gang and involved in the streets heavy, Cutty Banks would eventually jump in the streets too. As a kid, Cutty was always into music and started writing raps by the age of 11. His biggest influence was Tupac, with the album All Eyes on Me making him want to get into rap. Even though the Bay Area has had several legendary figures come from the region, but they have mostly came from places like Oakland, San Francisco, and Vallejo. Even though San Jose is a big area, it has often been overlooked musically, and Cutty will be one of the artists trying to make it out the city and put on for San Jose.
Oh, bro, but they don't, it's hard to make it out. It's Silicon Valley, bro. Yeah. The media don't want to portray none of that shit. You feel me? The media don't want to portray none of this. Why? Because it's bad for business, man. You don't want to move it. You hear about San Jose like, oh man, that's San Jose, woo. It don't get live out there, whatever. You know what I mean? But it ain't even about getting live, man. It's just about getting up out of this motherfucker where we come from.
Outside of Tupac, Cutty listened to a lot of reggae, which the reggae genre is heavy in the Polynesian community. He would get his name from a reggae artist called Cutty Ranks, but in his earlier music, Cutty Banks went by the name Cuzzo. After dropping several songs trying to get noticed for years, Cutty would start getting recognition with being on another Crip rapper song. Cutty would appear on Key Loom's song Out the Ghetto, which Cutty being on the hook, he started gaining a following, and this song would eventually touch 1 million views. Cutty Banks would continue to drop music, and in 2018, he would drop 2 tapes, one being called The 6 Tape, and the other being called Special Request. Just that same year, he'll be a part of another big song. That song video sits at almost 4 million views on YouTube. The song is called Set Trippin' and features Big Mike and Maceo III, who are both also SOS members. Maceo III is from Long Beach, and I covered his story before in the previous episode. He's currently in jail for murder. Once again, Cutty did a song that did major numbers, and almost everything he was doing was seeing at least 100K in views. In 2019, Cutty would drop the self-titled album, Cutty Banks. The lead single from the album was a song called Slide, and the video sits at over 700,000 views. Cutty stayed consistent with his music and dropped 2 albums in 2020, one being an album called Bank Statement, which he dropped a video to the song, Hell's Prayer, and also another album called Northern California. He will also drop several singles and also be featured on several other artists' songs. This will be some of the last music that Cutty Banks would drop alive, cause on December 19th, 2020, 30-year-old Cutty Banks will be in the parking lot of a Wells Fargo bank on West Hillsdale Boulevard in San Mateo, where he will be shot and killed. Just a few months prior, Tongan rapper Juice Boy, who I covered before, will be shot to death in front of his son, who was also shot, but he survived. This whole incident will happen in San Mateo. So with San Mateo being such a low crime area, and only having 4 murders for the year, and 2 of them being up and coming Polynesian rappers, it was a shock. With the whole thing being on camera, police were able to track down the killers, and the whole thing wouldn't make any sense. The shooter was avenging his brother's death, who was killed on the freeway in Southern California. But Cutty Banks would have nothing to do with the whole situation.
Police in Southern California have arrested 2 people who allegedly killed a Bay Area rapper in San Mateo in a twisted revenge plot. But as reporter Stacey Butler reports, the suspects got the wrong guy.
The twisted whodunit started with a deadly car-to-car shooting on the 405 freeway in Seal Beach last August. The freeway closed for hours, traffic backed up for miles. 27-year-old Luis Rapena killed. Police say his girlfriend, Amanda Young, and Rapena's brother, Isaiah, became frustrated. The investigation went on for months without an arrest. So police say they started their own amateur investigation and convinced themselves Melota Lassi, a Bay Area rapper known as Cutty Banks, killed Rapena, Isaiah Rapena traveled to the Bay Area and gunned Lassie down at this bank parking lot in San Mateo. But tonight, police tell us the rapper had nothing to do with Rapena's death. Amanda Young and Isaiah Rapena are both now under arrest.
The man and the woman involved are both still waiting to be sentenced. Cutty's family and friends will continue to rep for him and make tribute songs and even have events in his honor. Cutty's last album after his death would drop in 2021, and the album was called The Village. A video for one of the songs on the album called Hard Body will drop in 2021 as well. Cutty has been dead for 3 years now, but left a lasting impact on San Jose's rap scene and the Polynesian community. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.